Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure, and it was unbelievable what I managed to find at the Rhinebeck car show. I ran out of my money and I ran out of Charlie's money, so I had to stop and come home early. Anyway, let's go through the $1 stuff first, and actually you guys might be able to tell me what some of this stuff is. First of all, I've been kind of after boxes and all because I want to build a kind of a universal repair kit toolbox type thing, and within that I want a small box to be able to put like a bunch of tools in, so when you open up the big box, everything you need isn't on the bottom, right? You can take out one of these small boxes and get your stuff out. That's why you'll see them. They were $1 each, and for different sizes, right? What fits best. Anyway, one of the boxes, so this was $1, and it contained these, and I truly have no clue what these are. Maybe somebody could tell me. Perhaps a woodworking tool for boring. Anyway, it wasn't $10. This was a $1 box. So, just going along, this might seem like something silly. What you do is you put threaded fuses in here, right? And then when you turn something on, the fuse goes or it doesn't go. A lot of times this is handy, like with a generator, because the fuse will pop before a circuit breaker, and it might just save your generator. And I specifically have a project for that, so I wanted to get it. Welding helmet, you say, they're a dime a dozen, but it actually has magnifying lenses here. So anything to possibly improve my welding. Lately also, with the auto darken lenses, I have a good helmet and I have a so-so helmet, and I've been having trouble. The welding has been bothering my eyes, so I have welding to do, and I figured I'd try an old-time helmet and see if it helps. There was a guy selling off this kind of stuff, and I jumped all over it. These here, they're battery tender cables. What you do is you bolt those to your battery. There's a fuse in, and you just hook this up to your trickle charger. So your all-terrain vehicle could be like on trickle charge all the time, and then when you need it, you just unplug that and ride. $1's got the various bits. These big grip balls are frequently easier to turn, so I just grabbed that. Once again, I'm at the big $1. Hand tools, that's a Proto channel lock, made in the United States, Craftsman, right? So when you're buying this stuff, this is a rigid for under $1. Full ignition set, $1. Actually under $1. This was part of the 6 for $1. Craftsman keys, right? You just got to jump on that kind of stuff. X-Acto knives. If you look at these type things, they kind of come in a couple of different versions. It sounds trivial, but you see the metal shank there? That makes it so that the whole thing lasts a lot longer. More and more they're showing up with the plastic shank. So when you lean on them a little bit, the plastic breaks, and then you're done, right? You throw the whole thing away. So the metal shank will last longer, right? Spark tester, binding wire, always going through that. Fixer flat. When somebody had this for $1, you're gonna pass that up. This is a cleaning kit. I didn't buy it for the cleaning kit. I actually bought it for the case. Once again, $1. These marker lights for a boat. I thought they were cool. Timers. Hour meters. I don't know if anybody's bought an hour meter lately, but when you're getting them for $1 each, you just have to jump on them. Testers like this, handy, right? Quick go, no go, pop it in your pocket. I wish I bought the box for $1. I did not. But motorcycle headlights, the bulbs that go in the headlights, when you're getting them for $1 each, you just kind of have to jump on them. Signal lights, I don't know why, I just kind of like these. So once again, less than $1. These go more on a public safety vehicle. Nice big taillight for an all-terrain vehicle or a quad or motorcycle. This I found easy. Vehicle hood immobilizer. Once again, it was $1. It's got all this electronic thing. This is probably some kind of electromechanical solenoid, but I bought the kit for $1, figuring that there was more than enough in here to make it interesting. Transformer with multi-taps, always handy for building projects, right? Voltmeter, hour meter, box of fuses, automotive, right? Lights, you know, $1. A friend of mine cleared out a hoarder's place. Ends up at another hoarder's place, eh? Anyway, he cleared out a hoarder's place, and the guy had buckets and buckets of this kind of hardware. And some things are hard to get. Like if you have a pocket knife, these are this is the hardware that would hold the plates on the side of it. And then just quarter 20. These are metric. Right, the bags were $1 each. This is an assortment bag of all kinds of junk and a bunch of looks like signal diodes. Once again, if you're in there at $1, you're gonna worry about, you know, that. If you find one piece in there that you need, life is good. Power supply, regulated. This was interesting. These are brass letters, but they're very thin brass. The whole box was $1, and I wasn't quite sure. You know, I kind of keep a supply of just materials floating around, so I grabbed this to add to that supply. And you never know what you need it for. Perhaps a small patch on a gas tank, right? Brass is easy to solder in, stuff like that. So anyway, I grabbed them. Gotta clean the spray paint off them first, or maybe I'll actually use them as letters. This is electric fence for Rover, right? Wire, $1. This bundle was $1, and I was hoping that it was a little. It says it's 4 gauge. Doesn't quite look like 4 gauge. I was hoping to use that as starter wire for an all-terrain vehicle. So that does it for most of the $1 items. I mean, how could you go wrong with this? Oh, air cleaner covers that I had covered, you know. So there's the $1 stuff. Next up was this little pile here. I paid $10 for it. So metric tap set, 6x1, 7x1, hardly used, 8x1.25, pretty common, 10x1.5, and 12x1.75 with the T handle. So that was part of the $10 batch. This, somebody clipped from IBM back in the day, lost the back of it, but when I first started with the company, having one of these was like a big deal. Back then, average pay was like a couple $100 a week, and these meters were several hundred. So just picture paying more than a week's pay for one of these. Dremel tools, you know, I always grab these, and it came with a pipe cutter for some reason, rigid. The collars are kind of hard to get, and the extension with the that you could put a cutting wheel on. Kind of hard to get. So I'm probably going to end up cleaning out this box, using it perhaps for something else. But handy when you could take a Dremel tool, put whatever bit you want on, hang it to where you normally use it, and just go with it, right? I don't need a portable Dremel tool. I actually, more of a fixed placement Dremel tool would be handy for me. I know, welcome back to the 1990s. This is a $3 radio. It's got the synthesized scanning. I like more of this old-fashioned kind. The 1980s car radio in the garage is kind of getting long in the tooth, the one that runs on the battery and solar setup. So this could be really handy as its replacement. So this was a $20 need this stuff deal. I broke one of the fingers off my tire valve, and I also bought that tire valve wrench. These were 3, 5. These are reverse drilled, and this, anyway, I gave the guy $20 for that pile. And once again, it just so happens I need everything in it. Next up, $7 box of lights. I just happen to like a lot of these old-fashioned types. Horn, right indicator. These guys, markers, corners, right? I like this kind of stuff, so I have a tendency to grab it when possible. Pull that out, lights come on, all the extra lenses. So the assorted box was $7. I ended up including a few other things, and as a matter of fact, what is this? I think it's some kind of punch, perhaps. You put a die in there and you squeeze it, and then once again the extra lever for unlocking it once you get it stuck. That's what it says. DE space STA.00. I should look that up. I'm just curious. Does anybody know what that is right offhand? Okay, let's do the Toolkit story. This was a $5 box I picked up. It came with a few other things, and you know, use it as that kit. My concern is once it's full, it might not be able to handle it. So I kind of grabbed it. I'm going to give it a try. We'll see how it works out. The second box I picked up, I don't know, I think this one was 3. It probably some kind of instrument in here. It seems to be a little better made. It's all packed with foam and a drop-down leaf, so to speak. So that's try number 2. And the box, I think that's actually gonna work best, and it's the last one I found, was this guy. He wanted 30 bucks for it, and I'm like, yo, that's just too much money. So I ended up grabbing these lights to go with it, and this leather, I don't know, butt pack or whatever you want to call the thing, just to kind of round out the deal. You know, it's kind of like 30 bucks. Well, could I have this? No. Could I have that? No. And then finally I grabbed, once again, the 2 lights and this, and managed to close out the deal. I thought 30 was a little much for this box. You can see foil fast cartridge system. I don't know, ink, maybe. Anyhow, probably this will be the box that ends up becoming that universal toolbox. I'm probably going to get these dividers out. I have to see how they work out for my tools, what fits where. So there you go. And this is how I spent all mine and Charlie's money. I picked up this is a Phoenix 200 Polaris, obviously. Kid kind of fooled around with it with the You know, I'm going to put a snorkel on it. Came with a spare belt. It runs, I'm told, hopefully. I paid $350 for that guy. Next up is this Polaris Exploder. It just had a bunch of work done to it. The receipts, the title, all that stuff are in here. And once again, there's a long story with this one, so it'll get its own video. It was $600, and we drove it on the truck, and it came with the box with all the paperwork. It also came with these fog lights. Wow, the stuff just keeps going and going. I picked up these 4 cabinets, and they came with a set of headlights also, and I think I went 25 on them. 30 with the boat seat. Yeah, that's how it worked. So I got the boat seat. It came with the stand and the armrests. So that and the Polaris were from the same person, but they were 2 separate deals. 2 deals left to speak of. I picked up both these rolling carts. They were $50 for the pair, and they came with these power supplies. I got 3 of them, and this, whatever this thing is, all of it was $50. The story on it was, guy goes to an auction, and these things actually had 10 computers each, and these are the last 2 carts. He picked up a bunch of them. I guess the school was upgrading their laptops, and he ended up with all these laptops and all these racks, and he ended up paying $1 each for them. I guess you had to buy the whole batch at the same time, so I think there were 5 or 10 carts, which makes it, you know, 50 or 100 laptops plus all those power supplies and everything else. He ended up blowing out the laptops for $10 each. He got rid of all of them, 1 batch. So obviously he made a fortune with just them. And then these are the last 2 racks he had left. I looked at them and thought to myself, wow, great tool rack and all. Given the wheels they have on them, they roll pretty good on really flat pavement or something. Fortunately, if you run one wheel into something, a pebble or whatever, it kind of jams things up pretty good. So these are more useful in a garage. They seem pretty heavy duty. Picture, once again, 10 PCs, those power supplies and everything else on them. So they're really pretty sturdy. So I thought they were easily worth the money. I cannot build these racks for $25 each. When you're starting to talk about weight, if each wheel, right, is good for 25 pounds, 50, you know, you easily get to a couple of hundred with just the number of wheels you got there. And if you actually go up to 50 pounds, that's 400 these racks would be good for. So once again, I can't build them for that money, so I figured might as well jump on them and then see what I'm going to do with them later. Generally speaking, I avoid buying used tires like the plague. But a guy had a match set. It says Yamaha on it, but this is from an ATC 200X, 110 spacing, right? Plugs right in there. Pretty easy to get these. You could get a pair for about $60, brand new, knockoffs, and the splines fit a lot of the I think just about all of the ATCs, all the Honda stuff anyway, and they also fit a bunch of the early four-wheelers, you know, not stuff with a live axle, but the other stuff. So 20, and this was another 20. I got the axle, the hub. I went to put air in this tire, and unfortunately I broke the stem. So this tire actually holds air, which is good. And you can see this one's still furry because it's brand new. So I had a really good haul out of Rhinebeck, which isn't a bad thing because Facebook has been kind of dead. There are more deals showing up on there, but they're also, if something's a really good deal, it disappears quick. So there's some people running around with time and money also. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a great weekend. Good time hanging out with my buddies, the whole crew from the car show. Please remember, I need you to keep your feet down, your heads up, and I need you all to get out there and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.